What's going on, listeners? Welcome back to the cast here at Celestia Radio. It is Matthias with Nat and Dalit, as is usual. As always, how are you guys doing?
Sorry, that pause was just caught me off guard. Hello, everyone. Hi.
I love that it got you so off guard. That's great.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting it. I was expecting the flow, Matt. You know, your usual flow. Yeah, hi, Dalit.
I'm tired today, man.
Noted. Drink more water.
Yeah, drink more water.
Look. I was supposed to stream for only 2 hours last night, and I went for nearly 5 so I could finish Wuthering Wave's story, and then had to get up this morning and go to a bunch of appointments and errands, and I've been home so little today.
I'm sorry to hear that, but still, regardless, drink more water.
I regret nothing.
The episode today, listeners. We
taking more water,
probably
drink more water. That's the topic.
Shut up, Matt.
Sorry, go on.
You probably had your ear talked off about it a decent bit last week because we talked about it a decent bit last week. But you see, the game wasn't out yet, and now
the game is
out.
Ooh,
it's real.
It's true.
It actually exists.
Can confirm.
And it's
I can play it right this moment.
Wait, you can play it? Did you actually buy it finally?
I don't have to. I have it on Game Pass, but I'm gonna buy it on Steam too. Yeah.
Did they put Hollow Knight on Game Pass?
Yeah, both Hollow Knight and Silksong are on Game Pass.
Oh wow!
Gratis. Well, not gratis. It's however much you have to pay for Game Pass, which me currently I think is $9, maybe 10. It's pretty cheap, all things considered.
Well, there you go, listeners. None of you have an excuse for not playing Hollow Knight and Silksong now. Definitely play Hollow Knight before Silksong, though. Because if you jump right into Silksong, you might get your face bashed in a little bit.
You'll be really good at Hollow Knight when you get there, though.
Yeah, you will. Because it was funny. I saw a meme. Somebody like the tutorial for Hollow Knight, and it shows them telling you what button does what. And then it goes tutorial for Silksong, and then just put the cover of Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. Yeah.
Which, to be fair, when I saw that, I stopped and I went, wait a second. And I was like, oh yeah, it doesn't actually tell you what buttons do what in Silksong when you start it up. They just expect you to know.
This was supposed to be a DLC.
Exactly.
They are still treating it like that. You will play the previous game.
So it's highly recommended that you do, at least from those of us here.
And even if you don't have Game Pass, and if that's just not your jam, I know there are people where that's just not their jam, Matthew. Silksong is $20 and Hollow Knight is like 14, maybe it's 15. So even if you buy both of them, you're spending less than is common for one game on two.
Exactly.
So
you say that.
Just a thought.
You say that, Dollar, but apparently some people don't like the fact that Silksong's only $20.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, they give you their reasons, and in my opinion, those reasons suck. But we will get there.
So, listeners, if you haven't figured out this week's episode, we're talking about Hollow Knight Silksong.
More specifically, not the performance, the impact and the numbers of Silksong, not actually like the stuff in Silksong.
I mean,
no spoilers. No
spoilers.
Just
that part
just
definitely.
To make that clear.
But I mean, to talk about those things, you do have to talk about the game itself to a certain degree.
To a certain point,
sure. But
we're not talking about.
To be fair, none of us have beaten the game, so we can't even spoil it for you.
True, I'm still pretty early in this game. I couldn't tell you a whole lot. So
the reason why I jumped at it was because I don't want people clicking off thinking that we're going to be going in to narrative aspects. That's not a big part of why we're here. We might talk about some part of it, but I can't speak to it at all yet.
I mean, I think I can only speak to
the first couple hours.
That's why I
don't worry,
to
you're not
clarify really quickly.
No, it's good. It's good that you clarified. Definitely. Thank you for that. Definitely, 100%. It is a good clarification to make.
Yeah.
We are talking about Silksong, not necessarily story and spoilers. So do not worry. Relax, listeners.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Silksong. And yeah, I'm far too early to really even talk about the story, because at the point that I'm at, we still don't know what's going on really.
Mm-hmm.
But I have managed to meet everybody on the internet's favorite character, because you literally meet them in like the first area. So
right,
and she is also my favorite character. They are also my favorite character. I don't know. They're
Silk Song herself.
No, not Hornet.
Okay, he didn't get the joke because fucking people have been calling her Silk Song instead of Hornet.
Well, it's funny that because there is a character whose name is Lace.
Oh, okay.
I thought her name
She's
was
from a different game. She's from Dragon Age.
Why am I here? Why am I here?
Hey, you're the one who formed
just to suffer.
You created this, Matt.
Yeah,
it's true, actually.
Yeah, I know. Lucky I like you guys, I guess.
Okay, sorry, but continue on.
But no, it's I'm forgetting their name right now. Because I'm like, I was about this with the first Hollow Knight game. When you talk to somebody, if they have a name, usually it shows up in the corner or something.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about looking for their name when I'm talking to them. So I'm really bad about remembering everybody's name.
Okay.
So I cannot remember the character's name, but the one that's like singing and beating the chime every time you see them, easily the best character, and I love them. And if anything happens to them, I will kill everybody and then myself, as the joke goes.
I mean, I would be careful about getting attached to something in a dark fantasy.
I know.
No spoodlers. One of the first characters I ran into in Hollow Knight was this really, really peppy miner.
Yeah.
I was really sad at the end of the game.
Yeah. It like, it's funny because that character is like by their very introductory dialogue, you're like, oh, sweet summer child, you are going to die very horridly at some point, I can tell.
All right. Okay. I thought we weren't talking about the actual fucking in-game stuff, Matt.
Oh, I mean, when you're talking about not small things.
All right.
But fine, yeah, okay. One of you want to lead into the next
look,
thing?
I have not played Hollow Knight and Silk Song. I don't know if it's like spoilers or not. But,
when money comes before art, games cease to be made for the gamer, and instead are made for investors. Monetization cannot be the core idea in the creation of art. Art made for any reason other than passion is doomed to be little more than a shadow of what it could be. So we have learned in this release. So we have learned that games can in fact be sold for reasonable prices.
Holy fuck, bars.
Where did you steal that from?
I did not steal that from
I was going to say, did you like actually type that up? Because if so, bravo.
I do have that typed down, but I did not steal that from anywhere. That's me.
No, bravo. Everybody.
Yeah.
I'm handing the cast over to Dalit. He's in charge now.
But no, like I have a little thing typed up on the whole thing of gaming and consumer focused gaming and how that's not a thing anymore. Right. But that is kind of where it's how we get to the frustration of the moment, right?
Yes.
Right.
As I said, money has started to come before the art. And
yes.
By started, I mean for the past 20 years. And so like games are made to be played. Obviously, that's why they exist. However, we are not actually the core audience. The core audience are the investors that get paid back after the games come back.
Yes, exactly right.
And so no matter...
wrong with that sentence.
It's fucked up though, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But monetization is probably not actually the core idea in the creation of a lot of these games. However, it's such a leading factor that we see games that are beautiful and could be great shafted because they don't make their money. I mean, Square was the fucking king of this. Oh, game didn't reach our expectations. Game didn't reach our expectations. Games didn't reach our expectations. One of the most beautiful fucking things we've ever seen, because Square just puts out games like that. Mm-hmm. And we're all just kind of sitting here scratching our heads like, really? What were your expectations? Infinite money glitch?
I mean,
infinite money glitch is their expectation, yeah.
Didn't that literally happen with 16 for like the more recent?
That happened with.
It's happened with like 16. Most of Square's recent games. I think 7 didn't have to worry about that because they had their expectations in line. But every other game around it, I think, has been doomed to. We really thought it would do better.
I think the first part of the 7 remake trilogy had that happen to it. With the second one, they seemed more in line, but
this idea is important to keep in mind going forward, because the idea of what we're going to talk about next, which is there are in my head 3 examples of games that are currently like unambiguously consumer facing. Sorry, 4 games that are unambiguously consumer facing, and that's not to say that there aren't other good games to play. There are a bunch of good games. My game of the year last year isn't on the list I'm about to say, and it's a great game. But like the games that really feel consumer facing, like on the top of the mountain, are Expedition 33, which was like a $40 AAA game. It's a AA game, I know, but it was for all intents and purposes a AAA game.
Yeah.
It puts so many AAA games to the dust. It's just
yeah.
There was Baldur's Gate 3, which is on a scale that is crazy. It is absolutely doable, and we'll talk about that later, but it is crazy. Mm-hmm. There is Balatro, which I bought for $5, and I'm still playing.
Yep.
And there's now Silksong, which is a $20 DLC turned full game from an established studio now with a huge hit in the first title.
I'm surprised you didn't include the Hades duology in there.
Hades is pretty stock standard, in my opinion. I think it's great, but I also understand like that's pretty much the industry. Let me double check. Am I talking shit? I buy these games immediately without thinking.
I know.
No, Hades 2 is selling for $30 and is going through early access. It's pretty standard. Well, and Hades itself, unfortunately, doesn't do anything like industry breaking. Yeah. It is in my opinion fucking shined to perfection, but it is exactly what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just figured it was a $30 game. I think I picked up the original Hades for 20, 25,
possibly. We will talk about the difference between $20 and $30 because apparently that is just a huge rift that people are willing to die on.
That's crazy to me.
But yeah, no, I'm happy to hear you say that because we will be specifically talking about what the difference is between 20 and 30. Spoilers, I'm not sure I know.
I'm not. I don't know as well, so that's why I'm confuzzled as to why there's a rift here. Apparently,
but with these 4 games, 2 of them see no complaints by the industry. Expedition 33 is lauded as the best thing to ever happen ever, with cherries on top, and frankly, it deserves it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Balatro, no one can say shit about because one guy built it, threw it out there, and said it's $5 or maybe it's $10 now. I don't know. It's this incredibly reasonable amount of it's this incredibly reasonable amount of money, and it almost won a game of the year. However, Baldur's Gate and Silksong seem to have drawn some ire, and the reasoning for each isn't the same. But it kind of speaks to the overall area we are with the industry.
Yes.
Because in both cases, the ire drawn was by other devs.
Yes. For some reason, these devs, obviously, they are developers. They know the insides of what goes on through a development process compared to just us regular folk. Maybe we may see some glimpses and here and there and all that. But here's the thing, right? I lost my train of thought. Okay, take it away. Surely, yeah. No, okay, no, hold on. No, but like they just have this weird, like this attitude towards us when we're thankful of like, oh, finally, like a good $20 game, a good $30 game, that sort of thing. And they go, where actually these developers should be paid. They should be upping the prices because these developers go through all this hard blah blah. It's all this like fucking bullshit of like going through hard work and all that yada yada. And like,
not to say that developers don't work hard in games, because we know that they do.
True. Yes and no. I'm going to say. Because there's definitely a core team that works hard, and there's few out of positions that just get a free fucking company by free loading. Thing, dude. I know that's a company.
That is a company by company thing.
Like, I know, but like, I'm saying that they do exist.
Silksong.
I'm saying that they exist.
Expedition 33. These like everybody's working on it.
Yes,
and yeah, I'm not saying that they don't exist, and like a lot of that's the problem with a lot of these big companies is they have these massive teams on the game,
but then they also have this opinion of, oh, we don't know what we want, and that the $20 games is actually a bad thing for developers and all that, or selling the game at $20 is a bad thing for developers.
I want it out there that making games is work, and it is a lot of work, and I don't want that to be downplayed.
Lost in this conversation. All right, skipping ahead from Baldur's Gate, just straight into Silksong. Yeah, the current issue is this is currently, from what I have seen, an exclusively indie thing, but indie devs are angry for a couple of reasons. And it's not all indie devs, mind you. It's just the ones that are incredibly vocal on Twitter right now. The initial backlash was around the shadow drop. They only gave 2 weeks, which in my opinion is a bunch of time, but I do understand that when you've already put your marketing into place, bumping forward, back, side, whatever, moving a game's release can be a pain in the butt. And once that rubble cleared, we came into the new argument, which is what Nat was getting at, wherein Silksong is being priced at $20, and that seems to be about $10 lower than a lot of indie games. And the repeated argument that I have seen thrown around is indie developers cannot charge this much. Sorry, many indie developers, maybe most indie developers, can't charge that much for a game and hope to see a profit, which is fair, I think. What throws me off is I don't think charging $30 will also help them see that profit.
That's why I'm so confused, because I don't know if $10 really stacks up with like the nearly $500,000 that Silksong currently has. Like, obviously they'll get more money, but like, do we know that Silksong actually made a profit with this game? Or Cherry Team?
Oh, it's going to. It's almost certainly going to. And but the information you're going to see used to prove that right now are sales of Hollow Knight.
Right. Oh yeah, yep. Right.
So the game's not really old enough, really, for us to have a great view on it yet to say for certain if it's profitable.
Exactly. These are all projections, as most things are.
Right.
Now, see, so that entire concept to me is like, just hearing it is really weird, because if I look back at most of the indie games that get awards and get acclaim and a lot of good things said about them, like Journey, Child of Light, things like that. They were between $10 to $20. So I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah.
Most of the really, really well received indie games have been in this price range.
Well, so there's something to consider about this, because indie games are not a monolith. Like this is something that I need to clear up right now. Indie games are not a monolith. You have Vampire Survivors, which was originally sold for $3.
Yep.
And then you have like Sifu, which I believe was sold for $40.
Yeah.
Sifu release price, Steam. It was sold for $39.99, sold for $40. Mm-hmm. So it's important, especially for indie games, not to think of them as a monolith. It's all comparative.
Right.
AAA games are weird in that we can throw them all into a singular pot and say AAA, that is $60, that is $70, that is fucking Nintendo off in their own little fucking world at $80.
90 a physical.
Oh fuck, that's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like they get lumped into this, but realistically, we should probably be looking at those and charging by level of effort. I mean, and we kind of do. MMOs are charged monthly.
Yeah,
we have the box price, and then we all understand in order to maintain this good thing that we like, we pay $20, give or take $10, $5 per game, to move forward with it.
Yeah.
But but indies, I feel like indies have always been a case of they are charged slightly less than AAA games sometimes, to very much less than AAA games, based on if the developer wants to make a profit, if that is even a thing they care about, or how much time and effort went into it. Right. Like Vampire Survivors probably had a good amount of time and effort put into it, but I don't think the plan was ever to make a profit off it, which they probably did, selling it at $3, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because it's a dangerous pricing strategy, but if you get enough people interested in it,
that's true.
I mean, it was. I mean, yeah, like obviously the creator, whoever made Vampire Survivors, they
did jack it up after the fact.
Yeah, their vision was probably, this is going to be genre-defining fucking video game that I'm going to put out. It's like, no, it's just a fun game for like $5. Yeah, here you go, or $3, whatever at the time, and just
right.
And it's
but there are other games. There's games like Celeste, Rise of the Obra Dinn, that are designed to be art pieces.
Right.
So it's very likely, when you're dealing with something that perceives itself as art, they are moving under the understanding that I'm not making a profit. Yeah. This is an opportunity to enrich the art form. And then you get things that are more standard. Like I said, I find Hades and Hollow Knight to be standard games.
It's interesting that you consider Hollow Knight standard when after that description. Well, it's after that description though, because this is a game where everything is like, hand drawn, like all the things is like in-house orchestrated. Like it is about as much definition of art piece as you can get, I feel like.
Sure, it's also made by 3 guys.
Yeah.
And a bunch of contractors. So I'm not saying that it can't also be a work of passion and art, but in terms of what it is a Metroidvania. It is stock standard.
Yeah.
In terms of genre, not in terms of presentation and what it gives you. Hades, I mean, Hades might be defining as we compare a lot of roguelikes. Are they like Hades? Are they like Rogue? Where
Hades kind of reinvigorated the roguelike genre. So,
but it was probably done, and it was done by a team that had success before. They probably weren't trying just to put out like this piece of art. Like they had an idea, sure, but this is another product. This is another in the line of something they're already doing. This isn't a gamble by the devs. This isn't like the first time they've gone out. Bloody Bastion was a while ago now. They have this down pat.
Right.
But anyways, that's kind of like where, and it's not the best headspace. Like it is as scattered as anyone else's. But that's kind of where like I fall. You have the YOLO game, which kind of Balatro, kind of Vampire Survivors was like fucking $5, whatever, man. Play my goddamn game, enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
You have the art pieces, like the think pieces, and then you have, we made a video game, guys. Play the fuck out of our video game. Yeah. We love what we made. Maybe you will too.
I mean, yeah.
And in this way, where we have these tiers, and granted, these are my tiers, these aren't the industry tiers, these aren't the developer tiers, I would expect to see a variation in gameplay, or a variation in game price. And we see that.
Mm-hmm.
So the argument of like, indie games can't be $20 feels weird, because they're not. I don't think the success of Silksong will do much more than have people consider if they want to spend more than $20 for a video game.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that indie devs suddenly have to start pricing it that way. You can continue to price it at what you see is fair. And maybe you will see people say, I don't know, I don't think you give me more content than Silksong. That's probably something that's going to be said. But then they won't pick it up. And someone else who sees your piece of work and says, yes, I fuck with that, will.
Yeah, exactly right. See, I'm very hesitant to say that developers should just price the games however they want, because that just opens up to AAAs and the so-called quadruple A's be going, ooh, if that's the case, then let's make it $100, $110, $120 base game.
Well, first of all, we see that it's just not base game, right? That's why we have the deluxe and the gold and the platinum editions.
For Australian currency, it is that. So sorry, I should have been
using. Sorry,
I should have been using USD. I'm sorry, I'm so used to Australian.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But
to be fair, to your standard, even if we use USD, we do see that. We see that with, like, they put out the games, especially nowadays, with borderline useless DLC.
Oh,
they
tell me about it.
Upcharge $40 for, or worse, they'll hide a whole level behind it, Ubisoft, and charge $40 for it. So in that way, it's already happening. But on the other hand, I think there does need to be a division between indie and AAA. Like, we have a division. It needs to be made.
Yes.
And there will be games that blur that line. Games like Expedition 33, which is an indie, to my knowledge. It doesn't have the backing of any major publisher. They did that themselves. That is an indie game.
Yes.
Will the sequel be indie? I don't know yet.
I have no idea. but
wait, sequel to what be indie?
E33.
Whatever else they do in the Claire Obscure verse, or at least in the Sandfall development team.
Yeah.
I don't know going forward if we will still be considering that AAA, or sorry, indie, or if they will kind of get into that lower end AAA title. But the game that they have released so far, first outing, made in-house with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, that's an indie title.
Yep. Agreed. So I agree that there should be a division between the pricings, but I don't think the 20 and 30 is the correct one. To me, personally, it should be 30 and 40 should be the division of what's indie, what's double A, or, double A indie, or, fucking putting your foot into the triple A sort of area aspect.
I wasn't even thinking about that. That's where to draw the line at what your price says about you as a developer. That's a little outside of the scope of what I was getting at, mostly because I don't know. That's fair. I mean, I think you're gonna have to figure that out piece by piece. AAA took a long time to figure out when they could up the price and right now they're trying to figure it out again, and it's going really poorly for us, the players.
Yes.
And something else to clarify before we go any further forward. When I speak of developers in terms of pricing, that is strictly for indies, because indies obviously don't have the corporate structure.
Yeah, the investors and all that.
Exactly. Whereas once you get into AAA, odds are very high. The devs have absolutely no say, even remotely, in a pricing past. We did all of this. The game probably needs to go up a little bit, and even then, they probably don't have
wouldn't that be even in like AA territory? They have a little control over that.
The problem is at AA. What is AA? Is it an indie? Is it indie that does well, or is it someone with a
small team,
with a producer who's backing them?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's like AA's can be done by AAA studios. It's just a AAA studio puts less money into it, and at that point, the devs still have no say in the price because that's handled by the studio heads. Or maybe it is just a really high-end indie team, and then it is footed by whoever is working on it, because the dev is also the financial lead, who is also the director, who is also this, that, and the other.
Right.
So like the AA is a really murky place.
Okay, so let's get even murkier. Let's get down and dirty.
All the AAA, AAA terming, it's always been weird. Whoever decided this really was a thing we got to do. I would like to have a conversation with.
I'd be willing to bet it comes from sports.
It probably does.
Oh yeah, like the minor league and the major league.
But you couldn't get away with calling anyone who's not pumping out a $60 game a minor league developer. People would be losing their fucking minds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so...
But yeah, it's like an award thing, if I had to bet.
If that is the case, let's talk about the unfortunate game that's been in development for nearly 10 years. Lost Soul Aside.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Soul.
No.
No, so, I was wondering where you were going with this, too.
So, what is that game? Is that also... a AA? Is that a AAA?
Dude, that is backed by Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the most AAA ass coded AA game possible.
Okay, so I'm not crazy of thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, because I mean, like, the problem is the game as it was an indie. It was a very impressive indie that he was working on, but then Sony got in on it, and then it's like, okay, well, it's at very least a AA game now.
Right.
And then they rebooted it, like, I think 5 years ago, they said? 4 years ago?
I'm trying to remember. I just read this the other day. 6 years ago?
Yeah, so it was rebooted after Sony got involved, and presumably with a bunch of other people coming in and having ideas. I don't even know if this is still the same game that dude wanted to put out, because we talked about this when I streamed. Like, the launch trailer is so different than the concept trailer, and that'll always be the case.
Yeah,
but we're talking about like the difference between Versus 13 and 15 again. Like, it's very funny. It's very funny in that way.
I want my 1.0 Lost Soul Asides.
But I mean, the upside to this one is that the first trailer we ever saw of Lost Soul Aside was just to garner views. The whole purpose of that was to be a concept, was to show people things. So, for all I know, what we got at the end is his vision. I'm not saying that it's like 13 Versus 13 in that regard. I was just noticing the difference in things, was all.
Well, it's definitely fucking AAA in terms of pricing. It's $110 base game for me. So, thanks, Sony.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a full price game, $59.99.
Oh, then it's a AAA game. Fuck it.
Yeah. I would say,
damn,
the gameplay, like the combat, was his vision. I don't know about 100%. All the other stuff. Yeah. Like, that was that was the thing he seemed most set on there.
Yeah, most adamant.
Yeah, and because that's the thing that, you know, I'm trying to think back to when I read the original stuff about this like way back when, but that was the thing that stood out to him when he saw that stuff.
5 years ago, 2020
was 5. Okay. When he saw the stuff way back when he's like the gameplay concept that they showed was what really stood out to him, and he's like, I like that idea. I want to do something like that.
Right.
So
for sure.
So definitely the gameplay, I think, is the thing that he was more gung-ho adamant about, and that's probably why out of everything in that game, it's the most polished and praised part of it.
But everything else just kind of falls off to the wayside.
Kind of seems to be the case according to most people.
Oh, that's unfortunate to hear.
But if you ignore all that, it's a really fun character action game. Minus the RPG element that kind of bog that down sometimes.
I'll buy that on super sale.
Yeah,
I mean, I paid for it at full price and was super excited to play it. Well, to play it when it came out. Turns out my computer, despite meeting the recommended specs, like not even minimum, I meet recommended, and I still can't run the game for some reason. So. Gonna try again when I build a new PC.
Yeah, I don't know. Like these, it's really weird because, like, yeah, we can just point fingers at either devs and investors and be like, "Yeah, you're the bad guys for making a game, a really dog shit game, like this ridiculous fucking pricing." But like at the end of the day, it's also like we don't have to buy it. Like that's our choice as well.
Yeah, you can look at that from the dev side too. Like they can complain about Silksong releasing for this or that. I mean, that doesn't mean they have to release their games at that price either. Like
that's it. That is the correct response.
You're absolutely correct. And like I'm not saying like every single triple and quadruple A should just fucking sell their games at 20 and 30 USD.
Well, but hold on now.
I mean, it would be great. It would be great. But
I don't know about 20 or 30, but I do think that we can bully AAA into lowering their prices.
No.
It's the indies that the argument has to be made.
I was literally about to say that they don't have to be 20 or 30, but 40, 50, 60 USD. Go back to those prices. Yeah. I think we should bully them into those prices again.
I agree. I think this 70, 80, 90 BS is, well, BS. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Nintendo. I have a lot of problems with you already.
Yeah, 100%. When it comes to dollar amounts, I am not so detached to not understand that there needs to be some room for profit. Otherwise, games won't continue to be made. But I will say we are here because of, for good and for ill, because of money. Like, I'm not here entirely to demonetize money being pumped into the gaming sector to speed up its growth into a giant industry to kind of brute force its way into being taken seriously, which, it still isn't.
Yeah.
But what I will say is the money was tainted from the start. And at this point that we find ourselves at now, it was always inevitable and entirely predictable, don't let anyone tell you different, to see that it was going to be anti-consumer as fuck. The biggest powerhouse in game development studios used to be as big as most indie darlings. They would never have had a chance to grow quickly without the backing of investors. I will grant you this. And during the early years, games were allowed to grow in scale and fidelity.
It's true.
And while now it seems silly to continue to chase these bigger maps with more photoreal textures, once upon a time the leaps forward.
Sorry,
Jesus Christ! Once upon a time, these leaps forward were fucking massive. And as consumers of that time, which we all were, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
We were getting so much more game for our dollar.
Yes, absolutely.
But like I said, eventually you get up to the current day. Money in means money out, and eventually that means either the death of the industry, the bubble popping, or somehow you make more money year over year forever.
FIFA,
So
EA Sports,
exactly,
yep.
Exactly. So selling games aren't enough anymore. DLC was born, and then DLC wasn't enough, so we got fucking microtransactions, and then that wasn't enough, so we got macro transactions, and then that wasn't enough, so console-based games started to use the same monetization scheme as mobile titles, which have been demonized for years as being horrifically predatory. Suddenly they find their way into the mainstream, and it's fine. It's whatever. The individual just needs to learn how to take care of himself.
Well, except for Europe, because apparently Europe has an anti-gambling law.
No, because they're having to fight tooth and nail for that shit.
Yeah.
Because the game industry is not overseen by anything. And granted, I don't want the government being able to step in and say, we won't allow you to make another fucking Grand Theft Auto. Sure, that's probably going to be the game that gets chopped off. But I do think the gaming industry has overreached and is now in need of some oversight.
Well,
and all of that is to say nothing, because that has nothing to do with the Silksong stuff, which is the reason why we're here. But it is slightly related in that we have, as an industry, become so anti-consumer, and as buyers, so okay with the game industry being anti-consumer. Maybe not us specifically, but the gaming audience as a whole.
Yeah,
as a whole.
That's the atmosphere.
I mean, because the three of us have been complaining about this since episode
forever.
1, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
that we get the best-selling games of the year every year are some of the worst offenders: FIFA, Madden, Call of Duty, and it blows our minds when we get treated so well by games like Vampire Survivors, like Balatro, like Expedition 33, like Baldur's Gate, which is going to be the highest profile one because that's a AAA game, and then like Silksong.
So there's a funny side to the Silksong and the price thing as well.
What's that?
Because it's that the fans of Team Cherry and the fans of Silksong or in Hollow Knight, it's like they want to give money because they just love the company and the games they put out too. So they're just like, oh, you're only charging $20. Are you sure? We don't want you to be in trouble. We want to support you, kind of thing. And then, like,
exactly. Please don't let this be your last game. Please let us give you enough money that you continue making games.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Right. Like you see that, you know, the consumers, the fans, they really love this company. They love the games that they make. And it's like, so we want to give them money. We want to show them our support. And I'm thinking like, yeah, that's great. I'm right there with you. I want to give them money too. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, $20. I don't want it to be higher. I'm so happy with that. Here you go. Here's $20. So
well, overall, potentially you're giving 35, but yes. Like
I mean, they already got money from me for.
I'm talking about like in general, but no.
But in general, yeah. So it's there is a double side to that, like in a small way, right? So
yeah, I'm pretty sure people would have been fine if this game was like 30, 35, 40 USD.
Yeah, but that was never the issue. Remember?
Yeah,
but if people are coming out. It speaks to this fear that I think developers and some of these like corporations are like put into the consumer's mind, because they're like, you're charging $20. Are you going to be able to survive on that? Is this going to work out? Like there was a genuine level of fear in some of the fans. Like, is this going to be okay charging that much? And I'm like, that's concerning.
I mean,
like, I feel like it's probably fine if they released it at that price, right?
Well, it was going to be a DLC at one point. It was probably going to be a $20 DLC. So, just I don't know.
I'm gonna double check this before I say it. So hold that thought. Continue on.
I want to say again, just put the thesis back out there. The core conceit of this is that developers who came out and were very angry about it, and I think the absolute most correct take that has been said so far was, don't charge $20. Silksong gets to charge $20 because it'll be fine in doing so. Every dev, and that's not to say that it's the majority of the industry of the indie side of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that every vocal dev that came out and said this creates a bad precedent for what fans want versus what we can do. Ignore it. Continue to sell your game at $40. Continue to sell your game at $30. If that is what you think your game is worth, sell it at that.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason tomorrow, Team Cherry went, well, we had to review our records and we can no longer sell this game at $20 because we won't meet our arbitrary standards.
Yeah, whatever.
People would buy it for more.
Yes, exactly right.
Okay.
When it comes to worrying about what we as players will pay for, it's not really based around name. What are you giving us? The only reason why this is working out so well for Team Cherry is because we know what we're getting. This was a DLC. We know we're getting Hollow Knight, but again, and we want that.
That's exactly right. Not like a fucking Nicki Minaj skin for Call of Duty, fucking Warzone and all that shit.
But to finish the thought, and it's that reason why they can sell it for $20, but they could also, if they chose to, sell it for $40.
Yeah.
A lot of indie devs are so worried about making a profit that it goes back to what I was saying at the very beginning. You can't let that be the dictator of your art. You're gonna make a worse product.
Mm-hmm.
This took Team Cherry 7 years, and yeah, they're very lucky that they have that kind of time that they can put into this.
Without exactly right.
But they worked within their means to put out the best product for us.
I mean, they even stated publicly that was possible because of the massive support for Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, yeah. So it's up to you as a developer to work as well within your means to give us the best product.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means you have to put out a smaller scale product earlier and charge slightly less, you should do that. Or if you need to work longer and then charge more, you should do that.
Yes, exactly right.
But what it doesn't mean is that you should think that we are all going to look at Silksong and go, well, that's what we think of. That's what every single indie needs to be $20.
Yeah, no.
None can ever be higher.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to think that. And to circle back to what I was saying before and bring it into this, as Nat said, this was originally a DLC. Team Cherry didn't charge for their DLC. This was going to be a free update for Hollow Knight until they decided to make it its own game. Like, this was originally going to be.
I thought it was always going to be paid for. Interesting. I didn't realize it was going to be like Grim. The other 3 DLCs. Goodness.
4.
4. I need to play them too. I only played vanilla when it first came.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they weren't charging for DLC. Like, originally, this was just going to be another DLC that was a free update. And if I'm wrong about that, somebody can let me know. But when I looked it up just now, as far as I could find, it was going to be another free update, free DLC for base Hollow Knight. But then they decided to do more with it, and in part
for the best, because they made a whole new ass character.
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah.
So that's just another reason why, if this game does get bumped up to $30 or $40, because the previous DLCs were free, and now you're supporting them, and again, if they have to bump up the pricing, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, the fans more so than just the general players. There we go.
Right. So it's one of those things. Like, I mean, just by making it its own game, they're already making more off of this than they were ever originally intending to, right? Because all of this started, like Hollow Knight, it is one of those things you got to also, when Hollow Knight's a little different than some indie games out there, because you also got to remember it all originally started as a Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So, with a lot of big indie games, you know, you don't really hear about them until they're out. Really, that's you know, like I think for example, I think Balatro is in this category of the one dude made the game and then he released it. We didn't hear about it till it was out. Like there was no Kickstarter, there was no like pre-announcement or any of this. It was just he released it one day. So
yeah, I don't know. That's you gonna need Dalt's opinion on that. He should know, right? Dollar, right? Number one Balatro fan.
Listen. I love Balatro as it is. It doesn't need to change. I'm horrifically biased.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all comes down to the you know, every dev team handles how they dev their games differently, I think.
Mm-hmm. As they should.
As they should, right?
Because the last thing you want is the exact same fucking thing over and over.
Nobody wants the same thing over and over, except for sports fans and Call of Duty fans. Everybody else wants.
I mean, you're right. As players, we don't, but you do understand. God, I saw such a great tweet about this by Nat the Dev.
Okay.
What was it? What executives are going to take away from Silksong? Lay off a bunch of people, make smaller teams, make Metroidvanias, and the other half of it, which she didn't say was, what she didn't say was all that ignoring the fact that there will be worse leadership and less direction. So yeah, they're going to take away all of this from Silksong, and then the other half of her tweet was what they should take away instead. Devs working on a game they're passionate about with no interference from execs at the time they need to get it done without shareholder pressure.
Yes.
And I think the tweet overall is correct, and it's just a case. And I think this goes beyond AAA. It goes down into dev stuff too. Is the wrong morals? No, the wrong ideas are going to be taken away. Mm-hmm. People are just going to see the successes and not see the journey to it.
Yeah.
Obviously indie teams aren't going to be slashing their company. But like when you see something like this, it's a big reason for that stupid artsy fartsy intro I had. You have to see, you have to see the passion and the art come first, without the pressure of making a bunch of money. That in order for that to happen in gaming, you need a small focused team. It doesn't need to be like 3 guys. It can be 100 people. It needs to be focused. Small can be a lot of things depending on where you as a studio line up.
Well,
but it needs to be focused, and it needs the right kind of direction. It needs strong leadership, and it needs to know what they are doing.
No, exactly right.
Yeah, 100%,
and leadership is not, we need this game in tomorrow. Exactly, or we need this game in yesterday. That is not leadership. That is stress.
Mm-hmm. That's
and I, as everybody should know, I assume, working under stress is always going to be for quality stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I'll come back to it. Look at Lost Soul aside. There was like the whole restart and having to do everything was
didn't do undoubtedly in his wife.
Yeah, girlfriend. I don't think they were married.
Girlfriend,
but
all right,
lost his girlfriend and his hair or whatever because. But it's a lot of stress, and like, I mean, look at the quality of the game. He put out the game he wanted to an extent, I suppose. Now, he probably took stress on a lot more than I think the average person would in that situation, because from all the interviews and things I've seen, he's not a terribly extroverted person, and they still left him like completely in charge and doing all the communication. And it sounds like they probably should have given him somebody to help with that instead of just leaving it all to him. So that's probably the biggest thing Sony should have done to help him, but they didn't. So he probably was just overly stressed, having to go out of his comfort zone as much as he was, I think. And that's just if what I've, read from interviews and stuff is true.
Yeah.
It's just that stress will kill anything, even some of the best things, and it's people think about it like
I just want to quickly circle back around to the 100 number. 100 on a team is pretty small because doesn't Microsoft have like 20,000 employees? So
I don't even know anymore. Microsoft lays off 3,000 people at a time. So
what I'm trying to get out, especially for the bigger companies, 100 people is small. And as Don said, just having that laser focus on a product and an actual vision can do wonders for, again, 100 people on a team.
Yeah, it should, like, I should say, like, and I know that when she made this tweet, Nat didn't. God, I'd say that Natalie didn't mean that small teams are bad. It was just a case of like they're taking away incomplete. They're going to take away the incomplete lesson. They are gonna make smaller teams, which is good in its own way, but they're also going to forget that the team needs to be all in on this. They need to be together on this. They need to be a part of it.
Yep.
And they need the leadership to drive them to it.
Exactly right.
And realistically, what a Sony or a Microsoft or a Nintendo, maybe not Nintendo, I don't know what Nintendo does. That's their own thing. But what these other bigger companies do, the EAs and the Ubis, is they make small teams and then they leave them out to dry. And you get a game with a whole lot of ambition and a whole lot of promise that falls flat on its face.
Right.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then eventually they go through the cycle again. They rebloat their teams. They make it bigger. They have one success, and it's luck. And then we're right back to the stance where it's constantly chasing your own tail or chasing someone else's tail, which is many times worse.
Yeah. Many times that is very worse because you get games of a beloved franchise or genre that slowly become a different type of game because they're chasing a different title success or whatever. Look at the Assassin's Creed series. Look at I can't think of another one right now because that one just stands out.
Let's make it an open world RPG where your assassin can't assassinate people.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it frustrates me so much.
I couldn't think of another one because that one just stands out so blatantly. Yeah, it's now to be fair, I think they've found a way to blend those a little better now because I've heard mostly good things about Shadows. So
I have not, but then again, I stopped listening after the first week because it was vile the stuff I was hearing, and it had nothing to do with the quality of the game. It was just people being horrendous to one another on both sides.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, but I like as far as like actual thoughts on the game, I haven't heard anything too bad about it. It's at least better than where that whatever they turned it into was at when they first did it. A little bit closer to an actual Assassin's Creed, if anything. But yeah, no, it's. I want to say like we keep saying, devs, and then it was said in chat too. Devs need to cut down the teams to smaller numbers. I want to emphasize we are saying cut down the teams. We're not saying lay people off. Take those people that you cut down, put them on a different project, put them with a different, team, build another team to work on something else. Like, I don't want to lessen, the job market when it's already so bad for game devs out there.
Or we could, give them paid leave or something like that, give them some break time. That would also be cool.
I mean, yeah, if companies don't do that, that would be nice too. But it's one of those things. It's just like so many people in the game industry, and we're seeing so many layoffs over these last few years, especially. I just wanted to say that because people that want to make games, a lot of times the devs, are doing this because this is what they want to do. They love video games. They want to make games, right? So I don't make it sound like we're proponents for less game dev jobs, right? We want the teams to be more focused and in sync and cooperative. So smaller usually means that, and that's what we're talking about. All those people that lost was good. They didn't have many people work on. No, that's not what we're saying. We're not saying that.
I just want to correct myself. Paid leave is the is the incorrect term, right? Like what I was trying to say is like paid, but they also take time off.
That would be paid leave, right?
Is it paid leave?
Paid leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is, you are taking leave, but you are still being paid.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure I wasn't trying to say like they get fired, but they also get paid. I'm saying like they take a break.
Oh yeah,
okay. Severance.
Thank
yeah,
you.
severance,
Right. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Take paid. Yeah, paid leave. Yeah, take a break.
I wanted to put that out there because it did sort of sound like that to a small degree, and I just wanted to make sure because we love and support game devs because most of them because a lot of them are they're doing this because they like video games, right? They're the same reason so many of us play it.
Oh my god, actually, shut up, Matt. I need this for a second. It is important to say that out loud. Because we oftentimes, this is just the state of the internet, we let ourselves get so riled up. If you're working on a video game, one of two things is happening. You're working on a video game because you really fucking like video games, or you're working on a video game because it's all you know. Even people in Call of Duty fucking like making video games. I don't care how bad the game that they're working on is. They probably started this because they really like it. They are continuing it to make a pretty buck. That's fair. But you don't work in an industry that's hostile to workers if you don't want to be there. It's so important to say this. Are there a few bad apples? 100%. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of devs that are just assholes out there who are so miserable to work with. But by and large, we are pro dev. I am pro dev. I won't speak for the rest of you, I guess.
No, I've said that. No, you're repeating. I've said that already a couple times.
Okay, please continue. Because I realized that that needed to be said even about Call of Duty because I use it as a target so much. And I just want people to understand that I understand that there are devs working on that game. I understand that there are devs working on that game who like that series. That's not the issue. I still fuck with them.
I've read some fun interviews with some devs from some of the Call of Duty games, and these are older Call of Duty games. But I remember back in the when Modern Warfare came out, I read an interview with a dev, and he was just like, and they were asking him it was like an interview for like students or whatever, explaining like what he did as a job, and he's like, I want you to realize this is my job. I go out into a dirt field and I get to shoot guns for a living, so I know what they sound like, so I can make the sound in the game accurate. That's my job. And I'm like, and he's like, and I love it because I'm working on something I love, and I get to do something that's really just crazy fun.
Goddamn lucky Foley artist.
Mm-hmm. So it's just like, yeah, like I've been preaching it for the last, I feel like 20 minutes now, and Dalit said it as well. Like we are in no way hating on the devs. We love devs. We're pro devs. It's just but there are devs out there that are assholes. Like the devs that come out here and say, things like you're ruining, the industry by selling Silksong for $20. Like, no, hold on. No, they're not. That is just factually wrong.
Well, Dollar has already said it, but I was just going to say there are just some people out there that just want the money, a.k.a. Bobby Kotick.
There are people like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but they're not devs. That's almost exclusively executive nonsense.
Yeah, executives.
True. Yeah.
Almost exclusively.
There are people out there that are doctors, not because they care about people, but because it pays really well.
Fat paycheck. Yeah.
Trust me, I've had to deal with so many of them.
It's as Dollar says, there are bad apples. There are bad apples in every single fucking group of people, no matter what it is. But yes, devs generally do like doing their jobs and have fun doing it.
There's all like we came here because it's just this reaction from some people that Silksong is $20. Like that's crazy.
It's like, okay, cool. Can we also have other games that's $20 as well? Yeah,
it would be nice.
I was saying earlier, I think we need a little bit of oversight. I think we need some regulation happening. But boy, oh boy, if I say that out loud in a place that people with actual meaningful change can hear me, I will be hanged because they don't want their government in their games. Which is fair, because that's how you get with love Australia. and you don't get allowed to pick up GTA 6.
I was literally about to say, well, at least you don't live in a country that has already fucking happened. First it was Left 4 Dead. They censored Bloods, and then this was more of a global thing, but Hatred when that game first came out, but that was also a meme game. And then, you know, as you said, like fucking GTA and all that shit. It's
always going to be the go-to game, right?
It's like it's so fucking cringe. I hate it. And then payment processors get involved as well. Yay!
So fortunately, they have fucked around and they are now finding out.
Yeah,
but it did lead to a meaningful effect that could have been super, super negative, because really, in that situation, all the people who were going to get blamed, Steam, Sony, their hands are actually tied. I mean, I'm not trying to give up my ability to get payments processed for a singular genre. So I understand. It's fucked up, but I understand. That's the entire blame of like Visa and Amex or whoever it was.
Yeah. MasterCard and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, like I do understand that we could get like if I get my way, my gut check way of saying like we need some oversight, we could end up pretty bad off in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But we need a middle ground. Like clearly we can't trust the industry to monetize or to monitor itself.
Yeah.
We see that pretty routinely.
Yeah, but you also don't want the government to just be, you know, fucking breathing down your neck on everything gaming related.
Yeah, I don't think America would be prepared to deal with the same level of oversight that like Australia gets, much less something like China, because I know they must have some stringent rules because of the CCP.
Mm-hmm.
But like the ability for like a body to come in and say, okay, this has gone too far. You need to at least do this, that, and the other. You can make a profit. No one is taking that away from you. But the markup is insane. Stop it.
Yes, exactly
and
right.
If this happens and the markup isn't insane and we get told that, yeah, no, $60 games are kind of unreasonable, maybe people will be more amenable to it. But until that fucking time, I'm going to call it out for the greed that I think it is. Because it's not just $60 games. It's $60 games and all the macro transactions.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
They're long past micro.
Yeah, that's the killer part. There's a game coming up that I'm really excited about that I really want to play, and it has like a deluxe and then an ultimate version, and I'm just sitting here like, well, what's the difference? And the deluxe version gets you the season pass ahead of time, and I'm just like, so the season pass is like $30 is what you're telling me, because it's a $30 increase from the base game to the deluxe. And I'm just like, man, and I'm gonna get it because I want the DLC, but I'm also just like, man, that really sucks having to drop another $30.
But then they will cope and say, "Oh, but if you get the season pass, all the DLC, all the future DLC is free." When it's like, no, I paid $30 for the DLC.
Yeah, I mean that can be a great deal if you know each of the DLC is $20 instead of $10. If it's each $10, then you get all the DLC at their price, and in this case you get an extra item, I think, for getting the season pass that you don't get otherwise.
Oh wow.
So she's like, whoa, wow. But cool. I'm just like, it's like Dot said, it's the macro transactions that really kill such a high price thing.
So I have a hypothetical situation question for you guys.
Lovely, we love to hear.
Okay. Doesn't have to be Microsoft, but let's just say it's pretty much like as big as one of those like big companies. So like, let's say 20,000 employees. Do you think an 800 person team can work on a game with actual focus in today's atmosphere?
A what team?
An 800 person team. Like a dev team.
I want to say no. I just feel like
I'm inclined to agree with that. Actually, I feel like that's too many people.
That's too many.
Like, even if you break them down even if you break them down into like subdivisions to work on specific things, I feel like that's too many.
Okay.
But I am also biased by the fact that I think games are too big. And so having smaller teams would force smaller games, smaller, tighter games.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
But even if I'm thinking of a game like let's say 16. No, 16. Let's go with an open world game. What's a really like? Even if I'm thinking of a game like GTA 6, that's going to be it's going to be a fucking massive open world game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Let's look up at the dev team size because I'm sure we have kind of. Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Never mind. There's approximately 6,000 software developers working on GTA 6.
Yep.
Holy!
Yep. That's what I was getting at. That is what I was getting at.
GTA 5. How many? There was 1,000. Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
The step up is insanity. No. That's stupid. That's insane. No, 800 is already way too high for most games, and I think most games are going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I was going to use GTA 6 as an explanation of like, yeah, they've got like 1,500 people working on it. That's probably too much. 6,000.
That's crazy. I was curious. I'm like, is that any big AAA open world game? So I went with like one of the big defining open world AAA games. I went to Skyrim to see how many people worked on that at Bethesda. It's around 100.
Yeah, that makes much more sense because they're using an older engine that they're very comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm just like, so there's no, how many people worked on, let me check another game. I'm curious.
But
this is just throwing off our whole fucking understanding.
3,000 people. Okay, hold on.
But Dollet.
Around on this is the entire Call of Duty
detail. Matt, think about that.
This is across the entire Call of Duty franchise.
Yeah.
So this isn't super accurate because this is including Treyarch, Raven, all of them. Like, but it's 3,000 people. So
yeah. So you think
this drives me crazy because I thought your 800 was so high. Like, I was
lowballing it. That's the thing.
I genuinely said like 800. Maybe that's just a little bit below what the highest possible one is. Not even close. Holy shit! I'm literally a proponent of the I want shorter games with worse graphics made by people who are paid more to work less. Like I'm a genuine proponent of that.
Yeah.
So I am strictly against the bloat that is 6,000 people working on a title.
That just seems so excessive.
One fucking game. It's not like one game and DLC. It's not like two games because it's a franchise or a part two. No, it's just one game. It's literally one game.
So incredibly excessive.
So much. Also, I should defend myself, by the way, because I am saying I want better for the industry while saying I want a bunch of people fired. I don't want a bunch of people fired. And I think that if we were to get games the way that I think about it, we would just have more teams working on more games.
There you
instead
go.
of 6,000 people working on a single game.
Yeah, kind of like Square Enix with their own fucking business division thing.
Christ.
That is exactly as I said. Yeah, but like 6,000 people. Think about how many different games could be being worked on if you just split those up some, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not even sure that. Like, how do you? Like, actually, though, how do you?
What are they doing?
How do you focus? Yeah, how do you focus a team? Because it's clearly 6,000 people. There's probably like a dozen teams. Like there's people solely dedicated to an aspect of. Like obviously, no one is working on everyone. We get that, but yeah, what do you like? How do you explain that number in any way other than bloat? Well, unless that game has been worked on for years and that number is actually just the amount of people that have ever touched the project, including turnover and contractors and fucking artists that aren't going to get paid enough. I don't know,
but
that number doesn't make sense to me.
But Dollard, every single polygon on Lucia's arse cheek has to be 8K or more. You don't understand the 16 times the detail of GTA 6.
I hate the photorealism tracking we're trying to get to.
Yeah, I agree. I hate it. I
hate it so much.
The photorealism is just it's so overdone at this point, and it's like I was never like hugely a fan of it. Like, you know, and not every game needs to be it, right? I was looking at I was going through some art earlier today, in like some of the few minutes I had to myself that I wasn't, you know, running everywhere, but looking for some like new backgrounds for like my computer background or whatever. And I was looking at some Wuthering Waves art, and I came across a really nice Augusta one, and then I came across really nice one, but I didn't like it because they went for a photorealistic art style, and I'm like, no, Wuthering Waves and photorealistic, I don't like that. I don't like the way it looks. It's just yeah.
I mean, like speaking of indie, people are still making like PS1-esque video games, like horror video games and all that. You know, like that's like Silent. Holy shit! I was gonna say Silent Evil. Fuck me. Silent Hill style.
That is a different game that does exist.
Both Resident Evil and Silent Hill games. Regardless, yeah, like, you know, indies are still making like PS1 horror games, and that's awesome because they're not doing lacking 8K, but on a PlayStation 1-esque model. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but yeah,
like genuinely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's. And here's the thing: I wasn't even going with like GTA 6 because I think it was I want to say it was like Riot Games. I think they have like thousands of people working on either LoL or the MMO or something like that. That's what I was referring to. But then you brought up GTA, and I'm like, yeah, that does not surprise me in the slightest.
I just go to the biggest games I can think of. And honestly, I forget about League. Also, I wouldn't have expected League's development team to be incredibly bloated. It's bloated for sure.
It's bloated
just because of the nature of how Riot has handled its game over years. But I wouldn't expect Riot to come even close to being like
Microsoft or GTA 6 or Rockstar. Yeah, thank you.
Which they could be. They could afford to do it for sure. I mean, between their earnings and Tencent to lean on, they can absolutely do it. But I just didn't expect them to because I don't see a reason for that to be the case. I don't think they need that many people for upkeep. I mean, maybe they do. I didn't look up the number, and it sounds like you have. I would imagine they probably pinch a bit more than Microsoft and Sony. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad you guys know that there are a bunch of thousands of people employed on one fucking game, and I hope that has opened your eyes.
To answer your question, by the way, yes, I think 800 is too much.
Yes,
I feel physically ill. I feel physically ill at the idea of 6,000 people working on the game. That is such a gross misuse of people.
Agreed. Yeah. But yeah,
it would be nice to have it on my resume, though.
That's just my hypothetical question, and I'm glad that we're on the same wavelength because I also think that like 500, yeah, you could probably work, but anything above like 800, 1,000, it's just way too much people on one project. Yeah, you can, as you said, like put them in like sub teams and subgroups and all that, but like it's just still way too much.
Oh yeah, no, look, that's me attempting to try to figure out a way to make that work. Realistically, absolutely fucking not, right? If games weren't as big as they are, this wouldn't be an issue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you have anything to say, Matt? Yeah. Sorry, Dalton.
No, I'm still my mind is Boggled, sir. I tell you, I'm boggled by this.
I answered your question already, so but I will bring up, because this all started because of Silksong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I bring up the lighter side of the Silksong controversy on the internet?
Yeah, please do. We need that right now.
People are complaining it's too hard.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, I actually was going to bring this up, but I forgot because we were talking. Thank.
I am tickled by this.
Thank you that you brought it back up. So yeah, the fact that people at first it was one person, a couple of people made a mod to make to make the game easier because you take like half damage or something like that with the mod, and then there's not like an official patch that's like, yeah, we've like nerfed some bosses and all that in the early game, and I'm just like, is that skill
really
issue or is that over tuning? Like, how do you figure that out?
I think it's really sad that they nerfed anything, because apparently that is they actually did or are going to. I don't know if they've done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still in the early section, but it's funny because like all the difficulties I've had in the game are not with the bosses. The bosses have all been very fun and challenging, but challenging in a good way, not where I'm bashing my head against a wall. This is difficult, right?
Yeah, right.
And I'm not even like the higher skill level of people that play these kind of games. So it's just like all the difficulty I've had was because I'm terrible at platforming. And there's a little bit of a whiplash in how the Knight controls to how Hornet controls.
Right.
So
yeah, that is very much true.
Is she like more flirty or something like Luigi?
She is. She's more. She feels like her boss fights. She feels like her boss fights look. She is very acrobatic.
Right.
But it's good because it makes it feel different. It makes it feel new. It's very fun.
Yep.
And then I've after bashing my head against a platforming wall for a while, I did finally wrap my head around it in a way to understand, because I think the biggest thing, and I think most people agree, the biggest issue is in Hollow Knight, when you jump and do a down strike, you just swing below you and hit.
This is what I was expecting the issue to be.
Yeah, and you can pogo like that. So if you hit something that's a solid object, so spikes or an enemy, you pogo up a little bit or whatever,
right?
Up and whatever. It's a way to platform. It's the main way you do the big platforming challenge, really, in Hollow Knight, like the original Hollow Knight.
Yep.
Hornet's down strike is a down like dash strike, and she's going to go like left or right with it.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
Her down hit is like a downward dive hit.
Okay,
so she's either it's going left or right with it. Yeah,
right.
So it's not like
no. There is forward momentum on it. Is the issue?
Yeah, because she's not just swinging down; she is going down.
Right.
Like she's
if you want to go off of a Devil May Cry one, it's like when you're using one of the 3 or 4 fist, the gauntlets and boots, where you dive kick. It's a dive kick.
Right,
you go down
at
a diagonal angle instead of straight down.
Yep.
So that is one of the things I've seen consistently that is getting people, especially with the platforming.
Right.
Because you go to hit the thing and then you go to the right instead of to the left. Like, because if you just hold it straight down, it I don't know how it decides which way it goes, to be honest with you. You'll dive to the right, and then the thing, like the balloon you're supposed to bounce off, is to the left. So you go to the right into the spike pit, and boom, ow.
Okay.
So my first stream, you can go and look at the end of it, because because all my VODs are saved. For the last hour and a half, you see me sinking into despair as I'm failing platforming challenges, because I'm in this issue. I'm like, oh my god, this is insane. Well, I finally figured out, for me, the trick is wait till the last possible second to do the down hit, and then it doesn't matter which way you're going, you're going to hit that.
Right.
You're going to hit the balloon or whatever and bounce. And then if you hit the wrong way and you kind of go the wrong way, you have enough time to adjust and land back on land or whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
So it made things so much easier, and I haven't had problems since I've started doing that. But yeah, like it's just small things like that I feel like, is the game really harder, or are y'all dealing with like 7 years of muscle memory and just, don't want to learn the new, the way things work now?
Yeah, the new character, the way like the movement feels for a new character. Yeah,
right. Because I'm like, I've done a fair few bosses, and none of them have felt so. Look, none of them have even come close to the level of Grim the first time you fight him in the Nightmare Troop DLC.
Right.
Like, like they haven't even come close to that yet. And I'm just like, nah. And then I saw somebody say something like they were doing a fight and they went back to the old Hollow Knight and fought Absolute Radiance, which is the biggest bad final boss. Yeah, like from the last DLC for Hollow Knight. And
it was
just to remind myself. Yeah, they were just to remind myself I'm not bad at this game. And I'm just like, I haven't come close to anything being like any boss being that difficult.
Right.
Like every time I've died to bosses, sure, but it's usually because I messed up how they do something and ended up dashing the wrong way and getting hit, or going into like a terrain thing that was there in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all been really small slip ups that just retrying like you do and you get it. I'm just like, I don't really think the game's hard. I think the game is adequately difficult and a blast. Now maybe some of the later stuff is really hard,
right?
But apparently they're nerfing the early stuff.
Yeah, no.
So I'm just like, no, there's no way. Nothing I've come across has been that bad. So I'm trying to wrap my head around it. That's just wild to me. The thing that the thing that I have found, I would say is maybe more difficult, is your standard like just enemies you come across are actually a lot tougher. I feel because a lot of the enemies, like just base enemies you fight in the map in the base Hollow Knight, are pretty straightforward. The current ones there's a decent amount of diversity to them, how they work. Like some of them have ranged attacks so that you can hit back. Some of them have a little bit wider range than it may seem they do. And some of them have attacks that hit more than once. So if you get hit by it, you're taking multiple masks of damage. But I don't even think I don't see why that should be nerfed. That just learn the enemies, right? That's what this kind of game is like.
To be fair, the hardest enemies in Souls games, in my opinion, are also just the normal mob. Because if you get 2 or 3 of them, suddenly they offset their attacks, and you're having to be real acrobatic.
Exactly. Like that's just standard for this type of game, right? Like,
so it is. I think it's standard for Souls likes. I don't know necessarily if I think it's standard for Metroidvanias. I don't think I hate them nerfing it, as long as it's not the full game that they're nerfing. I see the vision of keeping the early game approachable so that people don't put your game down, or worse, refund it. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people that don't do losses well. Or people who can only lose once or twice before they give up. And then there are fucking psychopaths like me who can just lose all day in a fighting game and come back tomorrow for more. So I see the idea of, all right, throw them a bone, make sure that they have a challenge, but they aren't like getting the absolute shit kicked out of them while they're learning the game. Because maybe these are people that just didn't want to go back and play Hollow Knight. Maybe they were just interested in because they thought Hornet was cool, which valid. Hornet is cool.
Valid. Hornet is cool. Also, Hornet is nicer than I expected. Just throwing that out there, because
I feel like she's plenty nice after the first time in Hollow Knight. The first time, however, she does just immediately try to kill you. That is
like when you first meet her in Hollow Knight, she is like, she hates the knight. Like she does not like the knight. She's very, very antagonistic towards him. But as you
We get to the City of Tears, and she's like, "Yeah, okay, look, listen. I might have underestimated you. That's on me. Take a look at the statue. Peace." And she like literally gives you direction.
Yeah, and then every time you meet her after, she's a little bit more open to them, but it's just, I think for some reason, like the impression that everybody had of Hornet for the most part was she was either just
hard ass,
like a hard ass, or she was just one of those people that didn't like open up to people real quickly or whatever. But she really quickly, she's just nice to everybody, kind of. It's just like, man, she just really had beef with the Knight.
She had a beef with the Knight in particular.
Who Hornet, I was going to say is based off, but that's not correct. Do you know who Hornet reminds me of?
Who she parallels?
Yeah.
No, or I probably do, but I don't know who you're thinking of.
Lucatiel from Dark Souls 2.
2. Yeah, okay. I can see it.
Yeah.
She does. She is unkind at first. That is fair.
And then she slowly opens up to you, and then you can summon her, and she's like, "Yay, you're here."
But yeah, no, it's just, it is funny. That's one of the other reactions people have had is just, oh wow, Hornet's actually really nice. Because she's genuinely fairly nice to everybody you talk to. It's kind of hilarious, actually.
Wholesome and lovingness in my dark fantasy. What the fuck?
You need some. You need a character. If it's not your main character, you need a character that people can see the good of the world, and otherwise the state of the world just seems justified.
Yeah.
You need to fight against the state of the world.
Yeah. I agree.
But to the actual thing. But yeah, no, it's wild that people are complaining so much.
No, I'm not surprised. I think people have gotten so used to Souls being the standard for difficulty that they forget that every game isn't a Souls game, and this is not a Souls game.
Yeah, speaking of...
It almost feels like that, but it's a Metroidvania, and Metroidvania games are actually, generally speaking, pretty approachable. They become difficult 100%. But, though, that said, Hollow Knight off rip, no, it was pretty approachable, my guy. I'm going to be honest. I was thinking about deaths, but those were all mostly my own damn fault. It was me rushing things. Yeah, or just being not very good at platforming.
Speaking of a topic we can make an episode on.
And that's what it feels like the Soap Song is. And I'm just like, I don't think the game's actually difficult. I think y'all are just so used to the original Hollow Knight, which you've got all these hours in, right?
So this is such a valid take. Oh my goodness, I have parallels to this in Tekken and Monster Hunter, and you're right. People bring in legacy skill to sequels, and they so I complain about Monster Hunter Wilds being too easy, and frankly, it's because I'm right.
No, you're right.
But also, I do recognize that I am bringing with me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 8 games worth of content. Like my innate skill floor is so much higher than someone coming in for the first time.
Yeah.
So there is that to think about. And you can get the reverse of that, where you bring in a lot of bad habits and it doesn't work out, which is Tekken, where a lot of legacy skill was thrown out in Tekken 8 and people got butthurt. And I think this is mostly what you're referencing, Matthew.
Yeah.
Where the comparison is like, I'm bringing in a lot, like, I should be better at this. I understand how to play this game. I've already done it. And someone has to go out and go out and point out that, oh, yo, by the way, this isn't that game. This is a new game.
Yeah.
Get good again.
Yeah, exactly right.
I will say, I'm going to word this in a way so that it's not a spoiler in any way, so nobody can get butthurt about me spoiling something. There is a way to...
Me and Nat have been speaking. People are already butthurt.
Exactly. That's right.
There is a way to switch your combat style to where you're basically the knight. Oop, I hit my mic. Sorry. You're basically the knight's combat style, and everything will feel very similar to you again.
What the fuck? That's I don't know if I like that or not, because like
now if you have the context of how that works, it'll make more sense, and you probably won't be upset with it in any way.
Right.
But like, I'm not going to give all that context because I don't want to spoil anything, and I want people to experience it.
Yeah.
But there is a way to do it, and you don't have to play the game super far to be able to do it. So
right.
I said a lot of words, but I probably should have opened with this. Hey, what's the actual nerf? Because I don't know what they're changing.
They're changing.
I don't know either.
Damage.
Nobody's said anything
damage.
as far as I've seen.
Damage. It's boss damage.
It's boss damage.
Is it specifically boss damage?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'll be honest with you. I no longer care. That's fine. I know it's going to sound counterintuitive to a lot of people. The bosses are not the main point. The early bosses are not the main point of the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I brought up the question, like, is this genuine skill issue, or is this actual, like, just numeric overtuning?
I don't really... What is... I guess one or two of the bosses early on do have 2 mask damage hits, which is something you didn't see till like some of the really late bosses in base Hollow Knight.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Like,
okay, so the mods, the person that created the mods, I'm going to speak on both. Just give me a sec. So the mod was you take half damage. So if you take two mass damage, you take 1. I don't know. Is there halves, Mads?
There's not. No.
So then you would only take like either no damage or 1 mask damage or something like that. So that's that mod. The actual official patch has that been implemented yet, or is that just?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
And again, I don't know what bosses it affects, so I may.
They just said already. Like the first 2 bosses, or like the first. It's early game bosses, and I'm pretty sure they mentioned like the first 2. The actual official patch, they are just tuning down the damage the bosses do for early game. For the early game bosses. There we go. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I've not heard anything about mids or end game. I'm assuming end game is going to be not one shot paradise, but it's going to be close to it.
Nah, nothing in this game would really be a one-shot paradise because of how it works. If you die even in in-game, you got hit more than once, so it's not a one-shot. Right. Now, some of the way the fights work, there might be things that have multiple hits on them.
Oh, okay, right.
So, I actually was watching somebody do was this base Hollow Knight? I can't remember if it was base Hollow Knight or this was a Silk Song. Somebody was doing a fight in Silk Song that I had fought. I'd already done the fight, and then I saw them do it, and they were parrying the boss, and I'm like, you can parry that?
Yeah, apparently you can parry bosses in Silk Song.
You can do that in certain fights.
You can do that to every boss in Hollow Knight.
Oh, I was going to say, is that
everyone has a parry timing. I didn't know that until like 2 weeks ago, mind you. This is not me looking down on you. I just happened to see a video about someone literally going over the mechanic and me going, "You can parry?"
Like, I knew you could parry, like in base Hollow Knight, because I'd done it on some of the bosses. It's just figuring out which things actually are parryable attacks. Yeah,
I'm certainly going to go back and find out.
Do they have?
There were no tells. No.
Yeah, there are no
you have
tells.
to know the fight.
Right. Yeah, you have to know the fight.
So that's
you have to
lev red attack means unparryable.
No,
right?
like they don't flash. They don't flash right before a parryable attack.
Now, some boss attacks do have indicators telling you like where it's going to hit. Yeah, but they won't tell you if it's a parryable thing or not.
Right. Gotcha.
So yeah, no, I was just like, I was just like, man, I had no idea that you could parry that. I didn't even think about parrying that attack when I was fighting the boss, because I fought the boss a few times and I realized I'm gonna have to wait until I get the dash, because he moves too fast for me to get out of the way from the hits. That one's probably a boss that might have gotten the damage nerf to it, and thinking about it. But now I'm sitting here looking at this video of somebody parrying the attacks. I'm like, oh no, if you're just good, you just parry the attacks and you don't even worry about dashing out of the way.
Then I have this question. If there's no indicator as to what is and isn't a parry attack, a parryable attack, isn't all attacks just parryable then?
Not all.
I'll be honest, maybe. I just know that there are ones that the community knows you can parry and they know the timing of it.
Right.
To my knowledge, if it's parryable, it makes sense that it's parryable. It's like a weapon strike or something to that nature.
But what about like fangs, claws, and all that?
Fangs, claws. I mean, they're all bugs, right? So.
Well, yeah, but like,
yes. But like something big smashing down, I don't think that's parryable. Now I'm really curious. Now I kind of want to, because I'm thinking of a particular boss I just did. Now I'm like, I wonder if that was parryable.
Usually, not always, usually, whenever there's something that doesn't indicate whether something is or is not parryable, you can parry it. But I'm also thinking of like, well, there's a few things in like Dark Souls you can't really parry, like the fucking the demon and two big fat blubber demon. You can't parry any of his stacks because it's just it's a giant fucking fat monster.
There's definitely no indicator, so I don't.
Covered as demon. That's
it. Is it is one of those things. I guess you find out through experience.
I guess so.
Ask the internet. Yeah. I don't think it's everything, but maybe it is everything. I could be wrong. So
again, that's usually the rule I go with. If nothing indicates, then everything is parryable.
That's fair. But yeah, I was just my immediate response to their nerfing it was like, really? I don't like that. But then I'm just like, all right, well, whatever. It's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I also was just like, is it something we could have you could just make the easier mode selectable?
Oh,
like, nah,
that's not how goddamn is there flashbacks to dying too much in Devil May Cry as a kid and getting would you like to go with easy? Oh no, what was it? It was easy automatic. Like no. And fuck you for even giving me that option.
Fucking Kerberos. It's always Kerberos.
I love that. No, it's yeah. Oh, I very much the same thing. Would you like to lower the difficulty? And I'm like, no. I was playing a game earlier today. It was a puzzle game, but it was because I was just trying to kill a few minutes waiting on something,
right.
And I kept failing this puzzle, and they're like, do you want to lower the difficulty? And I'm like, no, I don't want to lower the difficulty. I want to figure this out.
Is there difficulty selectors in Hollow Knight Silksong?
No. There's so play it on base or play it on Steel Soul. That's it.
Right.
And Steel Soul is if you die, it's game over. That's it.
So it's Iron Man. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you just
also anybody that plays either of these games on Steel Soul, my applause to you. I like it's like I would consider it, right? There's a part of me that would consider it if I really wanted to challenge myself but then it all comes back to, right, there's platforming involved. No, I'm going to die to platforming and it's going to be game over. It's not even going to be the bosses. I'm going to miss a jump, fall to my death, and that's just it. I ruined the run right before the final boss.
It's one thing if it's like Steel Soul and Boss Rush, but actually playing the fucking game with platforming,
I imagine like, nah, that's gonna be so quick. I do love. So for anybody that doesn't know this, they did an old school gaming thing that we haven't really seen since the PS2 era.
Right.
There's a cheat code in the game.
What the fuck? God damn.
If you go to the extra menu, in the main menu, you go to the extra menu and enter the cheat code, which is like up, down, left, right. It unlocks Steel Soul mode. Remember, you have to beat the game to unlock Steel Soul mode. But they gave a cheat code would unlock it from Go.
Hey, that's good of them. Just playing.
I also want to know who found that out. Who in 2025 is still going around testing for cheat codes?
Hey, man.
Are you kidding me? Do you not put the Konami code in games you play just to see?
Exactly.
No,
I
gave up on
literally
them putting
about to
that
say
stuff.
that.
I gave up on people doing that ages ago.
That's, to be fair, that's more often than not the right call. Still good though. Still good that someone else is doing it.
Yeah, exactly right.
I was mind boggled, and I'm like, yeah, bring back cheat codes. These are freaking hilarious. I love them.
Yeah, big head modes on Silk Song.
Oh, that was one of my favorite things was getting the old like
that'd be awful, to be honest. Expand hitbox mode.
Right?
Oh no.
But to get the old like cheat code books to see what games had cheat codes, I used to love doing that.
Right.
All right, guys. I think that's been enough controversy on the internet for one episode, don't y'all?
I want to say yes for Silk Song. I'm trying to think like what else is for Silk Song. Yeah, it's just those two devs have an opinion and
devs having opinions. How dare they?
Well,
oh my goodness.
That's a nice way of me saying it. And fucking nerfs to early game bosses.
But all right then. Well, listeners, go play Hollow Knight and then go play Silk Song. Because Hollow Knight's the tutorial to Silk Song, so you need to do that.
Or you can just raw dog it and just play Silk Song.
True. You won't have the muscle memory issue at least.
True.
But both of these games are worth playing, and you should 100% do it. They're fantastic games, and yeah. That's the final thought I'm leaving it on. So listeners, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you all as always. You guys listening is why we do it. We love to just talk. Well, no, it's not why we do it. First off, we just love talking about games. Second off, we do it for you guys.
Yeah.
But we love y'all and we appreciate y'all. So don't let that go undersold. And as always, if you love the cast, if you love listening to us chat about games, then feel free to support it. And you do that by sharing it with your friends. Let them know we are here. Let them know where they can find us. Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all those fun places. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter to see when we go live or if there's any delays to episodes or anything like that. We have the hashtag AskCRP hashtag. So you can, submit topic ideas, ask questions, and things that you might want to hear us talk about, as it's what it's there for. And yeah, but with all that being said, this is us here at Celestia Radio signing off. We thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Shaw!